Hey guys, I hope you're ready for a big decluttering project. We're going to be doing some decluttering and organizing, getting rid of so much stuff, doing some deep cleaning. I'll be cleaning all over my home, sharing some real life messes, and an easy family recipe. So give me a thumbs up if you're ready to get moving. Hey guys, welcome to Jamie's Journey. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and I've been creating content here on YouTube for over 7 years, and I am so incredibly grateful to still be here and have people like you hanging out with me. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me, everyone, to be here, be in this space for 7 years. I'm really grateful for you guys. But if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. We have a lot we're going to be doing today. I am tackling our playroom. So with every year, the kids get older and they change, their interests change, and also I start kind of going crazy when there's lots of messes. We've also been putting a lot more responsibility on the girls for really cleaning up as much as they can. And as we know, as adults, the more stuff we have, the more overwhelming and frustrated we can get when it comes time to clean. And it's no exception for kids. It's, I've found that it's actually worse and they kind of shut down when there's a big mess. So I said, all right, we are going to donate. We are going to declutter. And that's what we're doing today. So wait till you see how much stuff I get rid of. Baby. So this was actually a few days before my big decluttering project. You're going to see me here in a minute. So this was in the morning. I was just kind of cleaning up our bedroom, picking it up. And then here later on, this was a little bit later on in the day. You guys aren't used to seeing me in jeans. I don't wear jeans a lot. I don't love jeans. But I was going to dinner with some friends later on. So I'm like, okay, I was all dressed. Mike had the girls out of the house. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a little... It wasn't a power hour, a timed clean, a timed speed clean. Set the timer and I was like, I'm gonna get this kitchen and living room picked up. So with the kids home for the summer, they have more responsibility and they're obviously home a lot more. So there's bigger messes. And I think we've all gotten a little frustrated with the messes. The girls are also getting a little bit older, and I've seen specifically the twins, they're 5 if you guys are new here. They turned 5 in March. I've noticed that they're getting older. They're gravitating towards older activities, older toys, all of that. So I'm like, you know what? It is time. We're going to do a big decluttering. I'm going to start in the playroom this week, and then we're going to move on to the bedrooms, and we are going to declutter and reduce what we have in there so it's easier for everyone to clean them up quicker. So before I just give you a little bit of a life update, I want to give a shout out and say happy birthday to Michael. I hope you had a fantastic birthday and felt extra special. So happy birthday, Michael. Okay, so where are we at right now? We're kind of in this part in the summer where we're really slowing down. So Avery ended her softball season last weekend, last tournament. She plays softball year round. That's her sport. That's pretty much all she does. She does softball. And so that ended. I'll have to share a story later on about how sad she was when the season ended. So softball is done. The twins, Addison and Emery, won't start soccer until mid to late August, which is when school starts. So up until mid to late August, we don't have softball, we don't have soccer, we really have nothing. So it's kind of a nice way to kind of end the summer, take a breather, relax, do all those things that we want to do that maybe we haven't got to because we've been so busy. So we're catching our breath and enjoying a little bit of a slower pace. So when I said I was going to dinner, I was meeting some old high school friends, and we were going to be planning our 20-year class reunion, which I was on Instagram this day, and I was like, I just feel, when you say 20-year class reunion, it just makes you feel so old. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, Jamie, no, you're not old. But, you know, I feel like you feel young every year to a certain point, and then stuff starts happening, whether it's you're planning your 20-year reunion, or all of a sudden you need it very cold at night, or you're waking up drenched in sweat, those hot flashes at night. They're just like little signs that are starting to creep in. It's very subtle, but I can just tell that my body is changing. Things are changing. I'm getting older. And the 20-year class reunion has kind of hit me. I'm like, wow. And it's crazy to also think what has changed in the past 10 years since our 10-year class reunion. I was actually pregnant with Avery at our 10-year class reunion and didn't know it. So it's just crazy to think of what we've experienced in the past 10 years. But I was meeting with some old high school friends because we were class officers. I was the class treasurer, and we were getting together to discuss it and kind of come up with a plan. So this was another day, and I was having Addison and Emery help me pick up their room. They typically do this daily. Here in the summer they do, not during the school year, but in the summer, one of their tasks, one of their chores is to pick up their room. But I wanted to pop in here and do a little bit of extra cleaning and also make for sure things weren't getting shoved under the bed. But I think with the girls being home this summer, number one, I've realized how much they're growing up, and I notice, the twins do seem to gravitate towards older toys, older activities, and they're not playing with as much of the stuff that we have in the playroom. And with them being home, I've noticed an uptick on messes, constant messes. They'll clean their rooms, but then it's messy later in the day. And then, it's the next day, you got to clean it up. And I know as adults, we get frustrated or overwhelmed when we look at a big mess, right? So we all had the discussion, and Avery understood this. The twins, not so much, but we had the discussion that if we can, reduce the amount of stuff we have in our rooms or the playroom, we can get it cleaned up in 5 or 10 minutes. Let's really get in here and look at what do we really want to keep? What do we really play? And so the next day, you're going to see me take Avery into the toy room, and she was actually a big help because there were things that she wanted to keep, but then we would have the discussion and she'd be like, yeah, I guess we really don't use it that much. So even though I want to keep it, we're like, okay, maybe we can give this, donate it, and give it to someone who could use it more often than we do. So she ended up being a huge help, and I think having this discussion of like, okay, yeah, we want all these toys or activities in our home, but do we actually need them? So my strategy with going in was I had Avery to be, my voice of reason. So if I'm like, how much do you guys really play with this? She was open and honest with me. There were things, like I said, that she'd be like, yeah, we kind of want to keep, but I guess we don't really use it that much. So the strategy going in was I was kind of making piles. So I took in laundry baskets, and I had one laundry basket that was like a for sure no, we're not keeping, we're donating. Here, she was organizing all of their school stuff, which is something they do play with a lot. So I had baskets. I had one basket of, we're absolutely not keeping this, we're donating it. I had a basket of a bag of garbage, and then I had a basket of things we're going to for sure keep, or I was kind of making that into a pile, and then another basket of, I don't know. Do we want to keep this? Do we not? So for example, like baby dolls or dress up clothes, we have an influx of those. I didn't know how much we would want to keep. I knew we would want to keep a few baby dolls, a few dress up dresses, princess dresses, but we don't need all of them. So we're just reducing the amount. But for those, I wanted to put those all in a pile so I could go through them separately. So I could decide, okay, these are all the princess dresses we have. Let's only keep a handful of them and get rid of the rest. Or the baby dolls. Okay, we have, 10 baby dolls. We don't need that many. Let's keep 4. Which ones do they play with the most? So I was able to look to Avery and I said, which baby dolls do they play with the most, and keep those. So I was kind of making piles. The laundry baskets were helpful because right away I could chuck stuff into there, and it helped cut down on the clutter and kind of organize everything. So I want to apologize that I have not given you guys much of an update on my mom's back surgery that she had back in April. And a few of you guys were asking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are so incredibly thoughtful. That's why I'm so grateful to have all of you guys here. So I will give you an update, but really quickly, this is the Nugget. It's a Nugget couch. We got this about 8 years ago before they had dupes for it. But the Nugget couch is like a little couch, but you can rearrange the cushions. The girls make forts all of the time. It is 100% worth the money, but the cushions or the covers come off so I can machine wash them. Okay, so my mom is doing phenomenal. She had back surgery. She has had a hard time walking short distances. She could never take the girls to the park. She would struggle coming to the softball games or the soccer games, because sometimes in those complexes you have to walk a while, or even the soccer game, because she would walk better on hard surfaces. So for her, if she goes to a soccer game, you have to walk a good amount in grass, and she really would struggle with that. But you guys, she is doing so well. She's like, I think she's so happy that she gets to do the things with the girls specifically that she's always wanted to do. She's taken them to the park, which when she wasn't able to before. She's able to walk the distances at the softball games and the softball tournaments. So she is just doing phenomenal, and she's like a whole new person. So she's doing awesome. So real quickly here, I think with the TV being here in the playroom and it being lower on the ground, the girls, they think everything these days is a touchscreen. I don't know if your kids are like that, but they think everything is a touchscreen. So this did get pretty messy, and I've tried cleaning it with other cleaners and it wasn't working. So I used my e-cloths. I used a wet e-cloth first, and then I buffed it with a dry e-cloth, and it got it near perfect. It wasn't absolutely perfect, but I think that some of the smudges are just damages to the screen of the TV because the kids probably touched it way too much. But it looks so much better, and the screen almost looks perfect. So e-cloths for the win. So really all we kept in here was their school stuff. They love playing school. So this is like their little school corner, all of their workbooks and school stuff that they use. And then this is Avery's old Barbie house. Avery loves Barbies, loves that. Like when she's by herself, she's either reading or she likes doing like science experiments by herself. She'll do that or play Barbies. And she was begging this past Christmas for a new Barbie house, a new Barbie dream house, and my parents got it for her. So we had actually kept this old one for the twins. But since Christmas, Avery still plays with Barbie, but she's not, I think she's dropped a little bit in interest to the Barbies. She still loves Barbies, but I would say it dropped slightly. And when in December, when she got this, she was like, absolutely, I want it in my room. I don't want my sisters touching it. And something switched. And I think part of it was the conversation we had was if we can reduce the amount of stuff we have in our rooms, then it'll be easier to clean up. So with the twins, all they really have in their room is their beds. They have some stuffed animals, and that's really it. We don't really have toys in there. And when it comes time to clean their room, we can clean their room up, like just a basic pickup within 5 minutes or so, because there's really not stuff in there. It's clothes, stuffed animals, and that's really it. And so we had this discussion with Avery, and she's like, you know what, let's put my Barbies in the playroom. My sisters can even play with me. Let's put my Barbies in the playroom and just kind of do the same in my room. And I'm like, Avery, I think this sounds like a plan. So we're going to start out, we're going to actually donate the old Barbie house. We're going to bring in her new Barbie house so all the girls can play with it in here. And we kept school stuff, a few baby doll stuff, and then just a handful of just random, like we have a football or a soccer, some microphones because they like to sing and dance, and that's really all we kept in here. This was a room that I didn't really spring clean. If you guys are new here, in the springtime I go room to room and pretty much deep clean every room in the home from top to bottom. I kind of let the playroom go just because I knew I wanted to do a toy declutter first, so I kind of let it go. So here I was vacuuming the blinds. So to properly clean your blinds, make sure you're dusting it first, whether you're dusting it with a rag or a vacuum. And then I was going to go and use a multi-purpose cleaner to wipe them down. But I was really happy with, like I just said, that Avery kind of came to the conclusion, like, yeah, let's put my Barbie stuff in the playroom. I think part of that is she's seeing her sisters get older and they're not those little toddlers anymore that just create a disaster. You know, when they're really little, they're like 2, 3, sometimes even 4. They go in and they just create a mess. There's really no, not always a lot of playing. And now I think she's starting to realize, like, they're getting older. They played well together, and she was okay with her Barbie stuff going in the playroom. And I also think part of it is her just getting a little bit older and wanting more of a grown-up room. So we got her a desk as well, and she kind of wants to put her own, she likes to draw or write in a journal. She has books, and so I think she's looking more forward to having that type of stuff in her room. And I also plan on doing a little bit of decorating and adding, some curtains and all of that. I had held off when we moved in because she didn't really care that her room was bare, and she really didn't have any interest other than softball and Barbies at the time. And I was like, okay, well, how should we decorate your room? And she's like, I don't know. We never really had anything that really felt right. And so we just kind of left it. I didn't want to force something and then change it when she was ready to decorate her room. And I'm glad I waited, because now she wants her room decorated with something specific, so that's what we're gonna do here soon. So I'm also gonna be decluttering in her room here in the next couple of weeks. So if you guys like the decluttering and organizing content, there will be a lot more. Closets, dresser drawers, room in general, and all of that.
Some balance in my life, but I never really put up a fight. Didn't follow my dreams, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say.
Let's talk high point and low point to the week. So my high point is a little silly. So if you guys remember a couple months ago, I loved these Tostitos. They were called Tostitos Hearty Scoopers. They were essentially similar to like a Frito scoop, but they were the Tostitos brand, and for some reason I loved them, and then they discontinued them. And some of you guys found them online, and then I did find them one time after that at that retailer, but then never again. So completely, they discontinued it. I was so bummed. Well, I've been loving this cilantro lime rice by the brand Seeds of Change, and I've only been able to find it at Kroger. I don't shop at Kroger very often, but I would go there just for the Seeds of Change. It's cilantro lime rice. I think there might be quinoa in there. But really quickly, so these are the bags that I'm either, the one in the middle is just garbage, just junk, little toys, little parts that didn't really go with anything in particular. And then the other bags were going to be donated, and then the Barbie house and the shopping cart were going to be donated as well. But anyways, I went into Kroger one time and they only had one package left. And I was like, that's weird, because all of the other flavors, they had a full case of it. The next time I went, they didn't have it at all. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this rice so much. I was so bummed. I'm like, I think they're discontinuing it. And then I waited a couple of weeks and I went back to Kroger and they had it, and they've had it ever since. So, you know, when you get a food, I eat this rice almost, I'd say 4 days a week. I'll eat it for lunch. I'll eat it for dinner. I don't even know if it's anything special, but I just love it. And I was so scared that they were going to discontinue it, but it's back. It's so good. I'll share my low point here in a minute, but I first want to show you guys some new towels I got. I love these towels. They're from Walmart, so they're affordable, and they came out with a new pattern that I think is really cute. So I'm going to show you those here in a minute when I put some clean ones in their bathroom. But I figured I'd cleaned the twins' room already. Their room connects to this bathroom. It's a Jack and Jill bathroom. So their room connects to this bathroom, and then this bathroom connects to the playroom. So eventually the plan is Addison and Emery will split up when they're ready to have their own rooms, and one will be in the playroom because it won't be the playroom anymore. The other one will be in the room they're currently in, and then they can share this bathroom, which ended up being perfect for the twins because they're used to sharing everything. But I figured I would get in here and clean up because I had the other two rooms clean. These towels are my favorite. They are the Better Homes and Gardens. They're from Walmart. This is like a newer pattern that I just saw recently when I was shopping, and I thought it was nice for a little bit of texture. We just have like the regular towels without this texture from this brand, and it's our favorite because they're soft, they're absorbent, they've held up. I think I've had them for probably 3 years at least. They hold up over time, and they're a really, really good price. So I will have these linked below, but I really like this new pattern. So when I'm done here, I'm going to hop into the office and just do a quick pickup. The office is one of those rooms that I just let go. Mike's in there primarily Monday through Friday. I just kind of let it go, let him make his messes, and then periodically I'll go and clean up. So I had some extra time today, so that's typically what I do. I don't really clean the office on a set rotation. It's just when I have a little bit of the free time, I'll pop in there. It takes me about 5 minutes. Okay, so the low point of the week. Avery's softball season ended this past weekend with the tournament. Although it starts back up in like a month, it's pretty much all year round with the travel team she plays on. But the minute the game ended, she started crying. And that's huge because Avery isn't a crier. She's not very emotional. She's I'm not a very emotional person, and Mike isn't either. She's just very laid back. That's just how she is. So she started crying because she was like, I'm sad that the season is over. I want to play again. Because we lost, and so the season was over. We could have played again that day, but she was like, I'm just so sad it's over. I don't want it to end. I want to keep playing. And it was like, I got emotional because I felt for her. But then I also just felt joy, and I was so proud of her for going out and trying her best. She played wonderful this weekend. She did great batting. She had some amazing line drives up the center of the field. She pitched great, and I was just so proud of her. So I was like proud, I was sad for her, and I also was just like, she loves softball, and when your child finds something they're so passionate about, it just makes you happy as a parent. And so it was just tough to see her sad that it's over, but she'll start back up in about a month, and she says she can't wait. I'm gonna do right now is make one of our easiest dinners. I've talked about this before, but pretty much everyone in our family will eat tacos in some form without any complaints. All 5 of us, which is kind of rare because we're kind of a picky family when it comes to food, but tacos is always a win. And I have tried different variations of tacos, like walking tacos, taco pie, regular tacos, chicken tacos, all of that. So what I'm making now, it's taco bowls. So it's essentially just a taco, but in a little bowl like this. And so what I'll do is I will cook up some ground beef with taco seasoning. Then I put them in here, put some cheese on there, and then you bake them. And then you can add your toppings or whatever else you want. We typically just add some lettuce, sometimes some avocado or guacamole, but that's what we're gonna have for dinner. Avery has softball tryouts tonight, so I wanted her to have a meal that would fill her belly, just be like a good meal. She'll have some carbs, she'll have some protein, we'll put some avocado on there. So I think it'll be a good, well-rounded meal for her, and she's gonna eat a little bit earlier so her stomach doesn't get upset. So wanted something in her belly, and I knew she wouldn't complain and she would eat pretty good if I make these. So I'm gonna go ahead and make these. So I've really been forcing myself to cook more. You guys know cooking is not my favorite, and we tend to do a lot of the same meals over and over, but I've been forcing myself to step out of my comfort zone, try different things, mainly for the sake of the girls, so I can help expand their palate. So I'm curious, what are your favorite type of recipes that you guys like to see? Do you like seeing recipes that are easy? Do you want healthy? Do you like ground beef, chicken, one pan, crock pot? Just let me know, and it could be a variety of those. Maybe you're like, oh, I love crock pot and freezer meals. Maybe you like, chicken recipes or whatever it is, simple recipes, soups. Let me know what your go-to, what are your favorite type of recipes that you like to see.
Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble and everlasting ego. I guess it never hit you. Our conversation takes two, paying it some interest from time to time. Inside all that greatness and all of your adventures, you're all alone. Hold up, baby, I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego.
So here in a little bit, I'll wrap up this video, and I'm also gonna take you upstairs, show off the playroom, show where I organize how I organize everything, and just the thoughts on where we're putting things and all of that. But stay tuned, because like I said, I do want to move into the bedrooms, do some more decluttering, and the goal here is to try to make all of the rooms in our home, especially when it comes to the kids, reduce the amount of stuff we have in there. Just keep the essentials. And I know when I say that, I'm sure we'll keep more than the essentials, but the goal is to make cleaning up, picking up less overwhelming for everyone, especially the kids. So another project hopefully coming up next week or the week after. So if you like that content, stay tuned.
Nice and humble kind, that will be a lie. Go on, blow up your ego, your undenying, undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble acting, everlasting ego. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Oh, here he goes, oh, here he goes. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. With his humble acting, everlasting ego.
All right, it is all done. I rehung the curtains. They kept falling, so I had Mike rehang those. Put the covers back on. We brought in Avery's Barbie house. This was one she wanted for Christmas this year. Everything looks pretty good. It doesn't look that much different. I mean, it obviously looks cleaner, but I don't think it looks that much different. But I think we're really gonna be able to tell the difference when the kids are in here playing. Usually if there's like a day we're home all weekend, like let's just take a weekend we're home, Saturday and Sunday, this is typically a mess. And I think that's where we're really gonna see a big difference is it won't be. So here, I just have their school stuff. This is like their they play school. All of that's like workbooks, backpacks they'll use to play school. And this is just like there's a few like football, soccer ball, some microphones when they like to sing and dance. They have hats, Disney ears, and then just a few like little purses, magnet tiles, cash register. They like to play store sometimes, then a few baby stuff. So it's really not that much. And then in here, I have the Barbie stuff. So at Avery, actually, so I'm going to be going through the stuff in her room. She has a tub of Barbie stuff. We're going to bring that in here, and then I'm going to get another one for this stuff. And then that way, when they want to play Barbies, they can pull the plastic tubs out, play with their Barbies, but then put it back in and put it back in here. So we'll stack all of the Barbies and Barbie accessories here. Gabby's Playhouse that Addison plays with sometimes still. Cleaning stuff, and then here I just have the dress-up clothes and then board games. And I probably need to go through here, all of this, and see what games have all the pieces, what we're missing, kind of reorganize this. I don't think I've done this since we moved, so I'll probably do that at another time, but it looks so much better. I think I'm just really excited because as the kids get older, they're taking more, we're giving them more responsibility, they're taking more initiative, and I mean, I know as adults, we get overwhelmed when we have too much stuff and it gets frustrating and overwhelming, and the same thing is happening to them. So I think, you know, it's important to declutter as often as you can, and kind of reevaluate maybe even every 6 months. Cause I know with the girls, especially, you know, with the young ages, they change so much in a few months. And so I think this will be so much more manageable for them to clean properly and easier on Mike and I, because we won't have to micromanage as much when it comes to cleaning. So I'm happy. I'll admit, a little tiny bit sad, because the more toys you get rid of, the less toys you have. It makes you realize your kids are getting older. And while I love my kids getting older, I think I've talked about this before, I think I am a better mom to older kids, like probably 4 and up, than I am babies and newborn and toddlers. I don't know, my patience level, just who I am as a person, I think I'm a better older mom I'm a better mom with older kids. But there still is that little like tug with your heart. Your kids getting older, I'm happy they're getting older. I love watching them grow, develop into their personalities, but it's still like, it's gonna go by fast. And I'm seeing that as we get rid of all the little girl stuff. they're growing up. I love it, but there's just a little bit that I'm like, but you know what helps is knowing that the house is gonna be cleaner. So that kind of helps you get over that little like heart tug.